affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of You and Your Doctor, sponsored by All County Healthcare. I am your host, Louise Gomez, and you can reach us directly at 954-717-7027. And we are a certified home healthcare agency servicing Broward, Miami-Dade, and Palm Beach County. And today I am delighted to interview and to introduce everybody to Dr. Armando Pineda Velez, and he's right here at Best Medical Center. You can reach him directly at 305-362-1559, and that's right here in Miami, 928 Southwest 82nd Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33144. Dr. Pineda, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Luis, thank you for inviting me. This is a great pleasure for me to see you even in the camera.
Oh, I'm so delighted you were able to make it. And, you know, you have so much knowledge and experience, and you have such a broad sphere of different types of medicine that you practice and you learn. So I'm just going to ask if you would please share with us a little bit about your background, because I know you've done everything from research to so many more things. So I'd rather you share with us your experience. Where did you go to school? When did you get your license? And just share about your humble beginnings.
Yeah, thank you. I studied medicine in the National Autonomous University of Mexico, UNAM, Mexico. I did internal medicine 1 year, and then I did 4 years in nuclear medicine. Then after I went to Honduras, and Honduras did 1 year in internal medicine and external consultation in order to get my license in Honduras too. Then I did 12 years of emergency medicine going around the world.
Wow.
I used to work for two Nobel Prize of Medicine, Dr. Walter Schale, who died here in Miami in October 17 this year.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was provost at the University of Miami in research. I used to work with his team in Mexico doing all this hypothalamic releasing factors. He was one of the pioneers with Dr. also Rosalind Yallow, who was the inventor of the radioimmunoassay at that time. That was the only way that we could detect hormones.
Wow.
And the peptides. So I had this privilege. They both got the Nobel Prize of Medicine in 1977. I was a student at that time, just finished my going into my graduate years. Then I did 12, I've been doing research even here in Miami. I did 12 years of emergency medicine, as I told before. Then I did here 2 years of family practice in Larkin Community Hospital. I've been doing research in Columbus Research Medical Center and also in Westchester Medical Research. Yeah, and been working as a family practitioner. I did a fellowship in A4M. Remember, I met you there.
Yes, that's where we met.
For almost 12 years.
Nice.
And then I got my fellowship in there, and I've been working family practice, internal medicine, and a lot of what's anti-aging medicine, you know, and functional and regenerative medicine. Lately, we've been doing some teaching at the American Academy of Physicians stem cell physicians with with various doctors, trying to be up to the date with everything that has to do the research with aging and improving the performance of people.
Dr. Pineda, I know you for several years. I never asked you because when you said that you started studying medicine back then, you were already studying leading edge technology that maybe the majority of physicians weren't even aware of. You're talking about peptides, you're talking, hormones and all these
Yes.
different things. You seem to always be on the leading edge of the newest and the latest technology. What made you want to do something which back then maybe was considered, I don't know, a little uncommon?
Not only uncommon, we were considered weird.
Weird, right?
Because
Okay.
yeah, yeah, we were like a kind of, we were starting to do all the things. Even I used to have some problem with some of the professors in endocrinology because while I was talking, with all the research that we were doing with Dr. Shali, Dr. Yadav, about cancer and peptides and polypeptides and peptides in general for releasing factors like growth hormone releasing factors, therotropin releasing factors, and all those sex hormones and everything. We sound really like crazy because at that time it was not mainstream medicine.
That's right.
Some people were doing something, especially in the gyms. They get it, in the Soviet Union at that time. They were getting some of the hormones and
Mm,
from the laboratories, yes, like testosterone, nandrolone, and all those things that were getting in there because it was almost forbidden in the majority of the countries. I had the privilege in Mexico that we were using medicine from France, Germany, United States, Canada, Mexico in general, from all over the world, having professors coming in there also as a visiting professors and teaching us. I used to work also with Dr. Demetrio Payares. He was, I think he was the only Latin American member of the Academy of Medical Science of the United States. He was
nice.
very well recognized because he was recognized as a cardiovascular electrophysiologist. At that time, there were probably two, three in the world. And
Wow.
he founded the Mexican Institute of Cardiology. It was the first institute of cardiology that was founded in the world. And he was doing a lot of electrocardiography, but also he was doing a lot of trying to repolarize the body using now it's probably some people in cancer they use it. It's called the polarizing solution
Mm-hmm.
using potassium and insulin inside the dextrose IVs, and he was doing that in order to reverse myocardial infarction. It's not in use anymore because we have no new medicines and everything, but at that time it was something really very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were reversing medicine, some problems in medicine too, using which is called the PMF. Now everybody talks about PMF, but I'm talking about 1977,
Yeah.
1980. The month that we were using the pulse electromagnetic fields in
Yeah.
order to cure diseases, or at least to alleviate them. And we got a lot of very good results. Now, it's mainstream, not mainstream, but it's more acceptable now.
More
We were
accepted.
using the low level laser that, and I'm talking about 1977. I
Wow.
was using low level laser, which was ruby laser. It came to the United States almost like 10 years ago.
Amazing. You,
Yeah.
you, the buzzword nowadays, and you can probably, if you can share with us, so many people hear about stem cells and all the benefits of what stem cells can do to help people. I know certain people have maybe a knee challenge or hip, or please inform us and let us know who would be a good candidate to have stem cell stem cells?
Yes, stem cells, we have now a stem cells that we use from the umbilical cord. From the
Okay.
umbilical cord, we have a stem cells, but also we get what is called the Wharton jelly, which is a kind of pack gelatinous stem cells too, that we
Okay.
can put in some areas of the body, especially where the tendons or the hip or the knee or the humerus joints, that they can
Mm,
help to revitalize and to regenerate all these places. We use also the umbilical cord also for some diseases, and it's experimental for some people.
mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's Dr. Robert Broward. I think it was his name.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's not working anymore in the Cincinnati University. He was doing amazing work with stem cell research using um, siblings, HLA compatible stem cells, and really curing people,
Mm-hmm.
curing diseases. It's not mainstream, it's expensive, it needs a lot of research,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we are going there.
We're
Now we
getting
are
there.
using also exosomes. Exosomes is some particles that are in some vesicles in the cell that are, some people believe that they are the particles that get formed, get out of the stem cells after they goes into the host. And they are more stable than the stem cells. They can be
Really?
injected, yes. And you can get almost the same result if you add this with some PRP or plasma-rich plasma, platelet-rich plasma, and
Mm,
really great results. I think in medicine we have to combine therapies.
I like
There
that.
is not only one thing that is a response. What I do sometimes is, most of the time with the patients, I try to activate the platelet-rich plasma in order to get the most growth factors using electromagnetic pulsing therapies too. And really, I have seen better results in that.
So, Dr. Pineda, if you can share with us a little bit more about, so people who are not aware, platelet rich plasma that is spinning and using our own blood. Can you tell us how that procedure would work?
Yes, a platelet-rich plasma was discovered. It has probably almost like more than 70 years being in use.
Wow.
The only thing it became mainstream when the veterinarians were using first, then the odontologists, dentists were started using it. Then it passed to the mainstream through the orthopedic
Mm.
medicine.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is that they discovered they have more than seven growth factors. Like
Okay.
they have blood vessel growth factor, epidermal, that means skin growth factors, and collagen growth factors, fibroblast growth factors. And so when we have all those growth factors, what it does, it modulates inflammation. Inflammation in general is good. Is when you have an injury, the
Sure.
the body gets into inflammation, edema, inflammation, and rubor, and
Mm.
that means also increase the temperature because it's gonna bring platelets to that place, and that platelets will form a clump, and then that clump will go into to get lysate. That means it's gonna be destroyed, but all these growth factors gonna be in that place, repolarizing the cells and creating new cells.
Dr. Pineda, we have a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to finish this conversation about PRP. We'll be right back, everybody.
Okay.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027. Or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Thank you for tuning back in to You and Your Doctor. We are having a wonderful conversation with Dr. Armando Pineda Velez, and he's right here at Best Medical Center, 928 Southwest 82nd Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33144. Dr. Pineda, I am learning so much about exosomes, stem cells. Now we were discussing PRP, platelet-rich plasma, which I know I'm seeing it more and more for different types of uses. I know you said it's good for therapeutic use, but also in the cosmetic world, right? I think people are using it for maybe youthful skin or maybe hair regeneration. Does it work for that as well?
Yes, because it has growth factors. It was called before. It was trademarked as a vampire lift. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yes.
For 2010, more or less, and was using it also like a pre-apo injection, which is meant for ED in men.
Right.
Okay. It was used also in for women, so also for the G spot.
Okay.
And also it's been used for facial lifting, that gives a better. What happens is if you have all those growth factors and you inject it under the skin, you're gonna get results.
Nice.
But not everybody does the right thing. So you have to go and see a person that just really has a good training, because what happened, aestheticians now they get a small centrifuge and they start doing that. The only thing is, they are cunning, because they add a little bit hyaluronic acid and, 3 or 4%, and that with that, the people see result, but those results don't really work for so long.
I see.
It's just appearance in the beginning. Why? Because hyaluronic acid attracts about 1,000 molecules per molecule of hyaluronic acid. And that water, it will make you plump, and then you're going to see a better appearance just in hours. But the real PRP, you don't need to add anything unless you want to reinforce it with exosomes, and then you're going to get great results. Even for hair loss, you can do it even to give more volume if you combine that. I did I use the fat tissue in one knee, as a scaffold, in one of my patients, one relative even. And I did that 6 years ago, and he is working perfectly. They asked him to have a prosthesis, and he said, "No, I'm going to try stem cells." And nobody wanted him to do it, but he came to me. I did the injections. Until today, he's fine.
Wow. So it lasted that long. I was going to ask you, is there a certain amount of time? Maybe somebody needs to do a touch-up, or I guess maybe every case would be different. You'd have to evaluate that.
In medicine, nothing is 2 plus 2 equal 4.
That's right.
It depends on the patient. It depends. There is, especially in osteopathic medicine and or in alternative medicine, there is called what it is called environment. Your environment. How toxic is your environment? How much inflammation are you having? How long you have this disease? So every patient has to be uh, treated in his own way, specifically for that person.
So true.
You can have the protocol, but the protocol you most of the time you have to alter a little bit in order to do the best for that particular patient.
I remember once I spoke to you and you did mention about a patient or a relative that you did something on their knee. And,
Hmm.
it's amazing how it's still working for them. And so I'm sure there are people right now listening that are probably suffering from maybe, a bad knee or hip or different type of situation. So as I said, I think I see it becoming more and more popular now when you go on Google hip replacement. Now that you see ads for stem cell, right? We see ads
Yeah.
for other
Hmm.
alternatives. So it's
Hmm.
it's so good to know that there are other options, right? Surgery is not always the first option.
No, it should be the last one.
Mm.
I think the regenerative medicine is getting more and more recognized now, and I think we're getting better and better results. There are a lot of universities around the world that are making uh, beautiful research. And if we talk about, in reality, regenerative medicine is not new. It started really in the 19, it was approximately 1890 something, 98 something,
Wow.
with Dr. Brown Sequard and Dr. from France and Dr. Marañón in Spain, and then it comes Dr. Zaharov in Russia. Then it went to clinical prayer in in Switzerland. It's Dr. Um, I don't remember the name of this doctor. Was very famous during the 60s, 50s, and 60s and 70s. He used to have the clinical prayer. It's called La Prairie in Switzerland, and
Mm-hmm.
he was using bovine stem cells. At
Oh,
that time, it
interesting.
was called cellular therapy,
Interesting.
and he was having great results. He was the doctor for Pope Johannes 23, and also from Gina Lollobrigida and Sofia Loren,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
those people, and he was having great results.
Yeah. Where do you see the
Hmm.
future of medicine in the next it's things are happening so fast with technology. Dr. Pineda,
Oh
what is
yeah.
your opinion maybe the next 30, 40, 50 years from now? How do you see the evolution of people healing?
The technology in general.
Yeah.
Now we have at least, I can say, probably 80% of the technology that they can serve. You can see the patient probably inside out in hologram type. I remember 20 years ago, I saw a documentary from Japan,
Mhm.
and they were using holograms at that time in order
Yeah.
to see the body inside, not 3D, the whole thing.
Wow.
Okay. And I think now that we know about more energy, the Einstein and the quantum mechanics, they are merging in medicine. It's not anymore the what is called the mechanicist medicine, because until the 20th century, we were using a mechanicist way to see the patient. We see organs and we see body, but
Right.
now we are going into the levels of the energy
Wow.
you
It's so
know
true.
and yeah, neuroscience, now they are talking about conscious. Where is conscious? It's in the
Right.
brain or it's outside the brain? All the
That's
things that are coming, and I think that they are going to be merging one to each other, and the paradigm for the new doctors is going to be more like I think they're going to be either using computers,
Never know.
but not to make EMRs,
Right.
using computers in order to direct treatment to patients,
Amazing. Dr.
similar to those telemedicine or usually telesurgeries.
Oh, that's true. I could totally see that. Remote
Hmm.
surgery, right? Dr.
Hmm.
Pineda, we have 30 seconds left. It's the time always goes so fast when I speak with you. Can you just, in the last 30 seconds, do you want to leave the audience with any information, any tips or tricks, or any piece of advice from you? We would appreciate that.
If you live in Florida, even if you think that you don't need vitamin D3, you are wrong. You need vitamin D3 all the time, women and men. Why? Because we live indoors, even in
True.
the sunshine state. Vitamin D3 is my
Thank you.
best advice I can do quickly.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pineda. It's been such a pleasure. Always a pleasure. When I see you, you're looking younger. I'm going more gray. Roles are reversing here.
Peptides and hormones
Oh, I
and
love it.
supplements.
Peptides, hormones, and supplements. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Always a pleasure.
Exercise, sun, air, and exercise.
Absolutely. We all get to exercise. Brisk walking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brisk
Always a
walking, that's the
pleasure.
best exercise. Thank you.